Hey game changers, welcome to another edition of my weekly trades and analysis. And this week I had some troubles, but it was still okay. The most troublesome day was yesterday. I had a very decent size on MRM, but it was a losing trade. And right now, let's look at some of the trades that I did yesterday, September 23rd. I did more than 3 trades, but I'm going to show you 3 of them. MRM, my losing trade, BlackBerry, and the CCL, which I still have it right now. Alright, so these are all the trades that I did this week. And September 23rd, I did more than just 3 trades. And you can see the 2.5 trades right here because I'm still holding CCL. I am in the money still, and it was pretty good. BlackBerry was kind of interesting too. And obviously, I want to talk about my losing trade, MRM. It's still within the risk that I can take, even though it was a decent size. But sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's just trading. So September 23rd, 3 trades right here. So if you want to trade with me, don't look at the prices. You can always look at them back after, and we can see if you are right or wrong, if you would do something different. Alright, the first one is MRM, and unfortunately, when this showed up, I was already like this. Otherwise, I would have tried to long this, after this candle, obviously. And you can see that opened almost 100% higher. It was insane. But sometimes when opportunities like these happen, you gotta take a shot. You have to take a shot. You never know. Of course, sellers try to take some profit at the beginning. And it halted when I was looking at it, and I was thinking, hey, let's look at it. Maybe I still have another opportunity to long this, which I waited. Then 39, I didn't do anything because I thought the steam is gone. And 9:40, when I saw this candle right here, I longed at this candle, which I thought, hey, buyers are coming back in, and the volume very steady right there. Unfortunately, it didn't go immediately, and actually that was a sign. I should have been more careful. Then it went a little bit, and this one actually, the volume went up really, really high. The price I got in was $17.53. So it went all the way to $18.45. I didn't take any profit. It was too quick. It was like 5 seconds, then sellers came back in and pushed it down. And it was way too quick, and I didn't have time to react at all. At 9:49, when it broke this VWAP, I was like, okay, no, I'm out. It was a very good decision that I got out. Very, very bad losing trade. Alright, next one. The next trade that I did, it was BlackBerry BB. And when you look at this, what would you do? Would you long this or would you short this? I went long. At a 10:14, the candle wasn't like this. The candle was still very green, and I saw the volume, and it was very bullish. It didn't have this wick right there. I went long on this, but it pushed back. I was a little bit worried, but I had my trailing stop all the way below here. It came back a little bit, and it went up more, slowly going up. So I was taken out by my trailing stop at 10:54, as you can see right there. Yeah, it was a winning trade, not that much, but it was still good. Yeah, 9 EMA went below the 21 EMA. Obviously, you should get out, and this one doing it as a support right there as well. The next trade I did on Thursday, it was CCL. I still have this trade because it didn't really trigger my trailing stop right there. I longed this at 10:06 right there, and it went really high. I still have this position, and I'm thinking about maybe I can add a little bit more later. It's trading a little bit lower now, but I think it's still a good trade. Alright, the next trade's September 22nd, and it was Lucid. Here you go. When I was looking at the chart, it looked like this. What would you do? For me, I did a counter trend trade. I longed this because I thought this is going to be my support, and I thought that the stock is going back up. So I longed this. After I longed this, I didn't see the volume like I planned it to be. It sort of died down right here. So I got out. about 2 minutes later. It was the wrong trend, actually. If you look at it, actually went much lower later. It was still a winning trade. After that, it did go back to its VWAP, but it traded down more. But I guess I could have captured more of that. I didn't get all of it because I felt it was wrong. It's a wrong trade, but you can still make money. Okay, now let's look at all the trades I did on September 21st. Okay, the first one is Apple. I longed this, and actually I doubled my position. The first time I got in was 406. This volume and this candle right there, both of them very bullish. So I thought that it showed me that buyers, they came in. They wanted to push the price higher, but at the same time that Apple had been rallying for the past 3 days. So I was a little bit worried, but it went just 1 minute after, and I doubled down a little bit more. Then it's sort of losing steam right there because my size was too big. So I sold all of my positions. I waited for 2 more minutes and I didn't like it anymore. So it was still a winning trade. The next one is COP right here. When I was looking at the chart, it looked like this. What would you do? Would you go long or would you go short? I went short. All these 3 candles right here, and all of them, the volume was pretty consistent. So I thought sellers, they were coming in. So I shorted this. It didn't go. It sort of went back. But my trading stop was all the way above this VWAP right here. But eventually that it went my way. For like half an hour, I was looking at all of this, and then it wasn't making a new low. So around 10:24, I sort of lost confidence. I covered my position right there. I didn't make a lot, 50 bips, but it was still okay. The next ticker is HYG. When I see this, 9 EMA went below 21 EMA, and the volume right there, and the bearish candles right there, I went short, obviously. It lasted about 22 minutes. It went the way I wanted to, but right here is sort of trying to make this pullback. Then it was around 10:24, I was ticked out by my trading stop right here. So this candle ticked me out, and it was a great trade. Eventually, sort of trading sideways, I got out with a profit, so it was a good trade. And now we have a Lucid on September 21st. It was a losing trade. You see the volume right there? You see all of those candles? It's grinding up. So when it was coming back to this VWAP, I went long. I don't have any indications to tell me to short yet. When it was touching this VWAP, I went long. It went for a while, but it sort of pulled back. It didn't really go. So right here, I knew it was wrong right there. I got out at a 10:11. When this 9 EMA went below 21 EMA, I got out because I lost confidence. But unfortunately, that it went back up. The rallying started after this one, so I was a little bit too early. So it was a losing trade, but I think it was still okay. Next, we have a VZ right here. You see that in the morning, in the very early, that it rallied this bullish candles, and the volume is all right. So I thought the buyers came in, but the momentum isn't that strong because you compare with yesterday, see how the volume, they're kind of the same. And especially right here, I see these candles, they are not making any new highs. I thought, hey, it's sort of making this round top. So I thought, hey, let's try reversal trade. Let's short this. Of course, I have a very tight trading stop right there because, it's still, I'm going against the trend, and look what happened. Oh, right there, beautiful. When I see this one, I shorted this at 10, and then when I see this 9 EMA goes below 21 EMA, I really like this. It gave me more confidence. I should have added more, but I didn't. So it went, and when I see this one, actually somehow I didn't like it because you see this right here. I was using this one sort of as my support. So I took my profit, and look what happened. You're sort of trading sideways. So I didn't like that and didn't go back anymore. Eventually made a new low. I made money on VZ. It was beautiful. Now you can see that these trades are all of the trades I did on September 20th. I traded Bank of America, Ford, and a KWEB right here. Now let's look at Bank of America. I see volume. I see bullish candles. What would you do? I longed this, but it didn't go. So it was a fake breakout. Eventually it still went down more. So basically my reasoning was this, it tried to make a new low, it didn't in the beginning, and right here it was sort of trading sideways, and the buyers and sellers, and then buyers came in. So I thought it was going to have this breakout and it was going up, but it didn't go. So eventually at 10:33 I was taken out by my trailing stop right there. It was a losing trade on Bank of America. Next, we have Ford. When I was looking at Ford, I also looked at the previous 2 days and they were trading up. When I was looking at this one, I was a little bit worried since, well, it gave me some indications. Obviously, I should trade down, right? Because the trend is going down. So I shorted this and actually it worked really well. But my position was pretty small. It was very small size. And because I didn't want to go with the big trend, so it went for almost 2 or 3 hours. But my trading stop was really, really high. So I ended up trading all the way back here. I'm very grateful that my trading stop took me out, because even though that it went lower, but the next day it went super high. So I would have lost money. So it was okay. The last trade on September 20th, it was KWEB right here, opened really low. And when you see this volume and these bullish candles, you must give it a shot right here. I longed this. It didn't really go right there, but I'm still confident. I thought, hey, this on VWAP, let's try it again. So at 10:06, 9 EMA went above 21 EMA, and also this volume and these candles, they gave me confidence. After a while, I felt something was kind of like, it's not really making another high. I lost confidence. So I got out right after like 46 seconds. So it was a losing trade. These are all the trades I did on last Friday. I traded a lot. I'm going to show you the most educational ones. So if you don't want to know the answers, don't look at my prices and don't look at the time. Just trade with me and I'll show you each one of them. The first one on September 17th, it was BMY. Here we go. Go with the trend right there. You see something like this. I longed this, but I was a little bit too late. So I got out. The price I got in, $60.89. And after 2 minutes right there, you went right here. And I got out at $60.87. So actually I lost 2 cents right there. If something like this volatile, I think you should go a little bit smaller and give yourself more rope. All right, the next trade is CRVS. This one is ridiculous. I was going long on this one. So I got in at 9.47. Actually, it was really, really high. But my trading stop is all the way down here. Somebody just smashed this down. And I got taken out immediately at 9.47. And then, hey, I thought, maybe buyers came in. This one just like really volatile, but buyers still came in and it wants to push this higher. So I was very adventurous. I went back in again. And the price I got in was $3.82. Then it didn't go for a while, but then it went right there. After this one, it's sort of grinding higher, as you can see right there. And I saw this volume sort of picking up. Then it went all the way up here. I was a little bit worried because of the volume right there. There's a lot of volume, and right here, sellers, they were trying to come in, and I was a little bit worried. So around 10:32, I was taken out by my trading stop. It was a winning trade. Okay, this is the last trade of the video. STC. When I saw this is a great opportunity. You see the volume? It's a little bit scary. It's making this breakout with this volume. You gotta try this. So I longed this at $7.08. Probably, sometimes when you see this kind of volume, you gotta be a little bit careful. It went for a few minutes, but eventually at 10:11, I held this a little bit too long, I think. At 10:11, you see these rejection bearish candles. I got taken out. I sold all of my position. It was $7.02. So it was all the way down here, but it was okay because I didn't lose that much. So here you go. That's STC. All right, game changers. Those are the trades that are included in this week's trades analysis. I hope you find them educational and entertaining. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Again, this is Grant. Trade and invest responsibly.